forget. Okay. Also, I'm going to post in the group after a conversation that I shared with my team, right from the beginning of a conversation of a form to the very end. So you guys can see exactly what I said. And it may not be perfect, but it worked. And this girl must have asked me every objection question in the book. So I feel like it's a good example of kind of how to steer around those things. So, all right, let's work through some of my tips for kind of starting conversations and going through the motions and seeing how that's going to work. So the number one thing that I would say when you start your conversations is you have to be in the right mindset when you go into your power hour. And we say this all the time, but for me, it's putting on some awesome music and turning it up and just going and getting in that like pump up zone. And so whether that's like watching a 5-minute motivational movie or video, or just something that's going to lighten your spirits to make this fun, because it should be. Talking to people should be fun. Can you still hear me? Okay, sorry. So I always like to put on some good music and get my mindset in a good place. So that would be my first tip. Number 2, you have to lead with your confidence. Whether you're confident in talking to that person or not, you have to go in with like, I just genuinely want to catch up with this person and I don't care what they think that I'm going after or what I'm doing, because I'm not going after anything. I'm going after connecting with that person. I always like to start with a compliment or asking somebody about something on their page. So I asked someone about a dress they had in their picture and where they bought it because I thought it was really cute. Like, people love to give their opinions, and it kind of breaks the ice as to like, okay, why is this a random person messaging me that I haven't talked to in years? So I like to do that when I first start out, because right now I'm at the point where I'm talking to people that honestly I don't really remember how I know them, or they're like a friend of a friend of a friend. And you have to think like a top coach. Colleen Eddy is not talking to people that she knows from high school anymore. She's reaching people that she's never talked to. And I think you just have to drop those preconceived notions about who you're talking to and why you're talking to them. We always talk about 2 sentences, 1 question. So I had to reiterate it again. If you are sending paragraphs of information to people, that is way too much, way too much. It should be a nice conversation of back and forth. The next thing is that I usually get, well, okay, I catch up with this person. I know what they're doing for work, where they're living, all of that. How do I kind of bring it back into Beachbody or something health and fitness related? And something that's been working for me lately is asking about their hobbies outside of work, or what they like to do for fun outside of work. Because a lot of people will tell you, oh, work's great, family's great, whatever. And that's the end of the conversation and you get stuck. So that's kind of been a good transition for me. And most people either like to run, or I don't know, you just kind of find those holes where you can start inserting some solutions into maybe what they like or what they're not getting out of life right now. Another thing is, when you are not inviting, you are not growing with your business. And I think that's kind of hard sometimes, because we build up in our minds that, well, yeah, I invited 5 people, but did you actually say the words out loud? Would you like to join me in this accountability group? Or would you like to join me on this coaching call on X date? And if those words are not in the invite, you're not inviting them. You don't want to beat around the bush with people, and you have to not be scared of asking these questions, because you should be comfortable with that person to know if you're inviting them, you know that they want something more out of life, right? And so I keep saying, this is like my thing of the month. It's the season of giving. So give this gift. Don't be afraid to share it. You guys know it's worked for you for a reason. And there's no reason that you should not be asking the question, You know, I say it to my team all the time. If I were to have looked at my team, am I freezing? Can you hear me now? Thumbs up? Okay. Sorry, I saw the unstable. But I say it to my team all the time. If I were to have picked the 9 or 10 coaches I have right now a year ago, maybe 1 or 2 of them would be on there, but it's always the people that you least expect. So you have to get comfortable in a conversation enough to invite them, even if you think you have a doubt in your head that they're going to say no. So what? Like, who cares? You are giving the opportunity out there, and you're giving the gift, and you're doing your part on that end. And no matter what, like Carl said at Super Saturday, you're planting the seeds for 2016. So everybody that is telling you no now is going to come back January 1st or January 15th, and they're going to be saying, I need your help. So the more you can invite now, the better it's going to be building that growth over time. And it's okay to have a script for your invite. This is something that Monica, Claire, and I have been working on this week. It's okay to have a script for your initial form. It's okay to have a script for challenge group invites. I think you definitely should keep a sentence of that personal to that person, and fit in somewhat of their goals or what they told you or what they're lacking. But literally, I mean, I did 5 invites to our coaching opportunity call tomorrow, 5 minutes before this call. Like, you should not be thinking about it for a half an hour as to what this person's going to say no or why they're not going to join you. It doesn't matter. You just need to keep doing. And the more you can focus on how to hone into what's working and just rinse and repeat and update it and see what's working and see what you're getting. But you have to be doing it over time to see, okay, this person reacted well to this one did not. How can I make that better? It's kind of like practice makes perfect, right? The more you can focus on these things in your conversations, and the more that you do them, the better you're going to become, the quicker that you want to be. You know, we always say you got to ask a million questions. You got to ask about their routine and their struggles and what their daily schedule looks like. That should be going without saying. But also, this is something that's hard, I think, and definitely a mindset thing. I love the quote, don't turn an objection into an opportunity. Don't just accept that objection and say, okay, that's it, you know, have a great week type of thing. Learn to have a different answer. And usually when you're getting objections, it's because you just need to ask more questions. And it's okay to continue that conversation, and just say, well, you know, what are you thinking about this? Or be bold and say, are you serious about losing those 10 pounds? Are you serious about being a better mom, or, you know, being more healthy, living a more balanced life? Because if you just accept the no right off the bat, you're not getting to the deep, you know, feelings of what this person's going through. And there's obviously an underlying thing. I think that's something that I've learned over time, is to really just, you want to keep the conversation going back and forth. And so the more you can just keep asking questions and use that as a red flag and as an opportunity to continue the conversation instead of just letting it go. But if they are a serious no, use that objections document that Noelle and I put together. It should be on the Google Drive. We say it all the time, but there's some great objections on there, and you literally just ask them, okay, well, can I touch base with you on X date about my next group? I know that you want to get to this place and I want to help you get there. So people should always be moving from one list to another, whether that's a yes, a no, a maybe, a next month. You kind of have to keep yourself organized in that aspect so that you will follow up with that person, and people will appreciate that follow-up and they will appreciate your support. You know, I'm not as good as this as I have been in the past, but every month I like to go back to all of my no's or anyone that I've gotten emails from, and I like to copy my challenge group post from Facebook and email it directly to those people that said no, but I might have sent like videos to before about the challenge group, because Rachel Morris was saying this today. I feel like I get no posts or comments on like coaching opportunity call posts or challenge group posts. People check their email and you know it's going to show up there, and they have to go through it to get that email unread. So at least you're showing up in their inbox once a month. That's kind of a nice trick. If I'm like, crap, I'm at the end of the month and I don't have Success Club points, I know I can directly get to that person that way. Let's see. Just keep re-inviting, re-following up. Be their support system and be that person that is there for them. I can't say it enough. When you follow up, the magic's in the follow-up. And it's okay to restart a conversation the same way you form them. It's okay to say, hey, I was thinking of you. How are you doing? How is Halloween with the kids? Just kind of go back to square one and start the conversation over again. Don't be afraid to do that. And even if someone doesn't answer you a few times, it's okay to invite a few times, I think, as well. I say it all the time, but I sent plenty of messages to Claire where she never answered me, and she's sitting on the call now. So just listen to your intuition. And if it says to continue to be connected to that person, even if they aren't answering you, I think that's okay. With that said, don't email them or message them every day of the month and be annoying. But I think once a month is good. If they say no or they're not answering you, I think that's a good guideline. Let's see what else. Let's see. So I know we get a lot of other programs that get thrown at us, and you should never talk about other programs. Always talk about the benefits of that. And I think I've become more bold in my conversations. The "Are you serious about X, Y, and Z goals" has been a good one for me. And also, what's holding you back? Like if they say no, what's holding you back? Because you want to get to the reason as to why they're objecting to not joining the group. Whether that's cost or they don't have time, you can kind of dig in and build your resources around what they're struggling with and kind of relate to them more. So those have been two things that have helped me a lot. The other thing is asking, what do you have to lose? It's 30 days. Try it for 30 days and see how it goes. And most people will you have to plant the seeds and get people to think about it, because as soon as you invite them, they might have walls up themselves and you don't know what they're struggling with totally. And so they are just automatically like, no, not interested. But I think you have to learn to not accept that and go a little bit deeper and be a friend first and foremost. I think when you continue to lead with your heart and just genuinely ask questions, like, hey, Monica, I saw you posted that you really wanted to get back in the group before the holidays. Like, I would love to help you get there. What are you struggling with most? I think a lot of times we overcomplicate these conversations in our head, and they don't need to be this super elaborate, crazy thing. They can be super simple and straight from the heart. And I think Fall Classic is the perfect time to test out anything you've been wanting to do. So Claire asked me today, she wanted to share a video about the coaching opportunity. And I said, absolutely. You guys should be trying new things, because if you're sticking to the same thing and it's not working for a reason. And so you need to either reach out to somebody on the team, post a conversation that you're having and why it's not going well. Be more transparent and use your success partners and use your team members to say, can you look at this and help me? I cannot tell you how many times Noelle and I go back and forth and I say, I'll screenshot it and send it to her and say, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. But now, because we've done that so much, I have learned to take a step back, take a breath, and just say, okay, what do I need to get deeper with this person? What are they really saying in here? I think that that's important, to just practice new things and try new things and don't let yourself and your preconceived mindset hold you back from talking to certain people or asking them or inviting them. I know it's easier said than done, but the faster that you can get over that, the faster your growth will happen. And Fall Classic is a perfect time to try this out. It's a perfect time to go balls to the wall and just say, you know what, I'm not going to care about what this person thinks I'm like or what I'm trying to do. I'm just leading with my heart and I want to help them. So that's kind of like my tidbits. And another quote I saw today was, fail now to flourish January 1st. The more you can fall flat on your face, the better you learn and the better you know what works and what doesn't. And every person is different on this team and every person is different that you're going to talk to. So people are going to respond to different things. But I think if you can pull out these little tricks and have scripts ready for your invites and everything like that, so that daily you're sending them out no matter what. And that's kind of, I know I didn't get like too conversation heavy because I think when I post the conversation for you guys, you can literally read it. I marked it out, like where the form is, where the follow-up is, where the invite is, to kind of see how I went through the conversation. But I'll open it up to like, if you guys have anything specific, because I don't want to talk to myself anymore. Is there like any questions that you've got lately or you feel like you just get stuck at? Don't be bashful. Good.
Hey, well, okay, I know this is redundant because I know we've been talking about it in our team, but I want to open it up to everyone else too, because it's definitely something that I'm struggling with. I've definitely been a lot better at forms and having more bravery to, consistently send out challenge group invites. But where I struggle is daily coaching invites, especially where I'm like, okay, well, I'm following up over here. I'm challenge group inviting over here. I'm new forming over here. Where do I place my coaching invites? And I know I can do that with my forms and follow-ups and stuff like that. But, if I'm starting a brand new conversation, I'm not going to be like, boom, here's a coaching invite. Like, I think, what I've been doing right now is that I'm going through like conversations I had a couple months ago that might have fizzled out. But I think I'm just nervous of, like, my fear is holding me back of like, I'm just putting it out there if I'm not having that conversation with somebody right now. And I wanted to know if anybody else had any advice or what they do to just keep moving.
Anyone else have any tips?
So are you talking about or getting coaches like kind of like we're coaching type of invites? Is that okay? So I'm not a pro, obviously, but I just listened to a podcast about this, and they said that the key to getting quality coaches is first having patience, but if you're inviting in your challenge group, so if you're leading quality challenge groups and you're sharing the opportunity with them in the challenge group, then you're doing nothing wrong. So on the day of introductions, they say, okay, share something about yourself, share what you do. Well, make sure you mention Beachbody because that is a job that you're doing. And the other thing that I learned, I left my Post-it at work. I'll send it to you guys. It said that in the first week of the challenge group, share a coaching opportunity call or the Glow Dynasty video or something about coaching so people can kind of get interested. And at least, even if they don't want to do it, it's getting that idea in their head. So I can also share, it was, I don't remember what podcast it was. I'll have to go back and look, but I'll share it with you when I find it.
That's so key, Kelly. And I think that's such a good point. Most of the people on my list for the coaching opportunity are past challengers because they know what I do. They've been through a challenge group. They saw some sort of success. And we all know that people usually fall off when the challenge groups end, whether they're in Embrace Your Inner Glow or whatever. But I think opening up to like, okay, coaching has kept me accountable and you've been showing that to them through posting is a great way to build it. I think also, Claire, with people that haven't been in a challenge group, you feel like it's hard to convey what it's all about. But I think you need to keep an open mind because you yourself came in not in a challenge group first, right? So it's totally possible. And what I like to do is see some sort of connection, find the people that I would love to have on my team because they are open with their life or they just are a positive light, and connect to that with them and connect to like why you think they would be a great coach, and form with them how you would. I think you would form and follow up totally first, and the coaching invite would come later. But I like to think of it in my mind as more of just invite them to the call. You're not inviting them to make this huge team commitment or anything. You just want to get them on a call because when you get them on a call, they're going to see our team and our passion, and it's going to be an easier transition rather than just saying, well, you want to join my team and this is what you have to do and whatever. So I think for me, in my mindset, it's kind of taken the pressure off to like, well, I need coaches and I got to get them here. And sometimes you just build it up in your mind, and you really just need to simplify it down and think of it step by step.
I have something just to add to that. I have one girl that I've told Rachel many times, this girl, like I want her to be a coach. I'm forming with her and I know her from high school, and she kind of goes up and down about joining a challenge group. So she hasn't bought anything from me, but I still invited her to a challenge. And she has been posting inspirational stuff on there. She has not bought anything from Beachbody. And so I've been working on her a little bit more, and she's actually said yes, that she wants to consider trying the 6-day Shakeology. So I think that's a step. I think she's just one of those people that's going to take her longer. But having her in a challenge group and showing her that it's really not about the money and I truly want to just help her, she sees that and she liked the idea that she could have her Shakeology paid for. That she's like, oh, I didn't even know that. So I think even just kind of showing people that it's not the money and just welcome them into the challenge group regardless helps too.
And I think also like in your posts, I think we can all do a better job of sharing what this community does for your life. I mean, all of us are on this call tonight, and a year ago it was not, I don't know how many, 3, 12, 13 of us. So don't be afraid to share what your team is doing and what you're a part of. I think it's easier for all of us to share, okay, I'm doing this, I'm getting healthy, I'm working out or whatever, but it's much larger than yourself. And I think that's why a lot of us have come to this place, because we wanted to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. So you need to find ways to share that and how you've grown and what it's doing for you, because a lot of people don't have this community. I mean, think about before you were a coach or before you were a challenger, you didn't have someone to check in with every Tuesday night. So I think that's something really unique that you can find unique ways to share. What else?
One of the girls in my challenge groups, I don't officially have my first coach, but I hopefully do in a couple weeks. She was kind of going through some personal stuff, and I suggested Girl Boss to her, and she ordered it, and she loved it. And I told her that that was part of coaching too, is just like suggesting the personal development, and that was like a really big hook for her. And she also said to me, she lives in California and San Francisco. And she was like, I was trying to find like a community of coaches here to talk to. And I was like, well, I'm part of one right here. So she was really hooked with the personal development. And that's because I posted about it. And then she commented, and then I messaged her about it. And that was like a really big hook for her. So just kind of going back to the community aspect, people aren't just looking for the fitness or the healthy eating. They're also looking for that personal development side too.
I love that, Megan. I think that's such a great, I just suggested some personal development to a friend as well. So even if they're not coach material, I think we don't work on ourselves as much as we could.
The thing, I have a question about that kind of. So okay, if you're not involved in this community, it's really hard for me to convey to others on Facebook what the community is without it sounding like a cult, kind of. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but like sometimes when you're an onlooker and you have no idea what these people are talking about, you're just gonna breeze right through the post. Like, how do you convey that without sounding like, I don't know, without coming off wrong in a post?
I like to, something that I've tried to do recently, maybe not as much, maybe in my head I'm doing it more, but I like to try and speak on my post to the person I was day one, to the person that was totally skeptical and definitely not into coaching, didn't want to go to a Super Saturday. I was just like, I have better plans. I'm not going to do it. So I think it's okay to speak in your post to that person that you once were. Like, I get it. You're feeling skeptical. You're unsure of what this whole diamond emerald thing is, or, I don't really know what these fitness workout selfies are about, but what I do know is I gain more confidence. What I do know is I'm leading a more healthy life and have a better relationship with my spouse, or, I've lost 20 pounds, or just kind of paint that picture and build that emotion, Kelly. I think the more that you can connect to that, the better. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that's helpful. I just know that, like, if I, like, looking back at the person who I was when I started this, I'd be like, oh, like, I know that, I don't know. I understand what you're trying to say. I think I just have to think about me and my mindset, what is going to convey, what's going to get us there. Sorry, my dog's pulling off wallpaper. I have to go get on.
I think also you need to share these things consistently, right? You can't share one thing about coaching the whole month and that's it. And then the rest is just about you. Share why you're doing this, because you want more time with your family. Go back to your why and go back to the reason why you're building this. I think that helps to paint that picture a little bit more. Share how it's helping you do the things you want to do now, even if that's paying a grocery bill once a month, or, paying your electric bill, or something simple that is relatable to people. And it might start getting them to think, when they see this consistently over time, like, okay, she's actually doing something here. Like, what is this about? And then when you do have the personal conversation, it's easier to break through those walls. Is that helpful? Cool. Hope the wallpaper's good.
He started my job for me, not intentionally.
What else? What else are you guys feeling? I know someone's got something.
Is anybody else in the Diamond Dash? There was Rachel, did you watch the video where it says that the best time to invite your challengers to coach opportunity is like the second week, because they are like end of the first week, because they have such a high. And I was like, and like you said, Danielle, like, go back to how I was. And I did. I had the biggest high in my first week. And I think that's when Rachel even reached out and she goes, hey, just letting you know. So yeah, now having that said, and you saying relate back to how you were your first week, or you as a challenger, that just makes more sense to me. So my next challenge group, I'm really going to hit that first week of opportunity calls. And I'm going to schedule now monthly opportunity calls when my challenge groups are starting.
That's awesome. I think all of these things, it's just getting in the habit of adding the little layers over time and seeing the things that work. For me, coaching opportunity calls have been key, and it forces me to invite every single week. So if you need to get with your upline, or you want to get with some other coaches on our team, or you want to hop on Noelle and mine to see how it's like, please do. Because the more that you can step out of your comfort zone and be a leader, you will attract the same leaders. But when you hold yourself back, you're going to attract that person, and you're going to feel like you have to drag people along with you, and that's not fun. of course, everybody's goals are different, and that's totally fine. But I think all of us want growth in some aspect. So whether you're at the point that you want to be or not, you need to step out of your comfort zone and be more bold and be okay with it. I mean, all of you have gotten this far, and I know that all of you have something that you have gotten better at or feel better about than when you joined day one. And the more you can think about that and grow upon that, you're only will attract better people and continue to grow your team, because I say it all the time, I can't do it alone, right? I have to help those around me to continue the growth. So how's everybody doing in Fall Classic? Awesome. Seriously, use Fall Classic as like the time where you're just like, I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. It's like, share that post that's in your head that you haven't wanted to share because you know it's scary and big and you've been holding back on it. Do it this month. Like, I just challenge you to get out there and do it, because what's the worst thing that's going to come out of it? Okay, you're going to sit there for an hour and be like, no one's liking my post? Who cares? I think the more you push yourself outside of that bubble, the better you become. And something that we're doing on our Fall Classic team is consistently tracking every single day. We say it all the time, but just staying on top of your behaviors, because it's going to get hard with the holidays, and it's going to be easy to slack off and just enjoy time with family. And of course you should, but just be consistent and do those 3 things every day. You guys know what you have to do. And if something's not working, share your conversations, like be open about it, or ask someone to look over it with you. I've, like I said, I will post my full conversation after this, and you guys can judge away. It might sound totally, not your comfort zone, but try it and see if it works. What else? We have a couple minutes, but I won't hold you if you got nothing else.
I was just going to say, one thing I was trying with the coaching invites, there's 2 things I tried today was like framing it like you're right. I think we need to just forget about actual what coaching is and say like, hey, like I know how much you really care about like helping people and we're like working hard. And I kind of phrased it in that way. Or for a challenge group one today, it was like, I know you have a flair for fitness, or even if she isn't really working out right now, kind of putting a spin in that way. So trying to focus on their positives and forming it as a compliment, I think, I'm hoping will get their attention.
No, I think those are great points. Has anyone been successful with invites lately otherwise? Do you feel like you're slacking with them? Do you feel more confident that you're going to go out and hit the ground running with your invites tonight? Awesome. All right, well, I challenge you to invite 2 people to your challenge group and to the coaching opportunity in the next 2 days. I don't think that's a big deal. That's 1 person a day. You guys can do it. And don't be afraid to post in Glow Diggers like, hey, this went well. What do you guys think? Or, did anyone else have success with it? So I think we don't do that enough. So don't be scared to do it. But also don't post 6 pages of stuff, because that's not fun. Awesome. Well, I hope this was helpful. Sorry it was kind of on the fly. I will post my conversation after this, and you can fly with it and go out and crush Fall Classic. You guys are worth it, all right? Have a great week.